Imagine for a moment that your entire life has been guided by something you never realized. A hidden calling, an invisible force that has always been there, silently shaping your destiny. And then, one day, you discover that you are not like everyone else, that there is something inside you, something special, powerful, different. Have you ever felt like you don't quite fit into this world? That your existence has a greater purpose, even if you don't know what it is yet? If this feeling has ever crossed your mind, stay with me until the end, because what I'm about to reveal to you can change everything you believe about yourself. If you like this type of content and want to uncover more hidden mysteries about life, spirituality, and the power that exists within us, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and like to support this work. Now, open your mind and come with me on this journey. Since ancient times, there have been stories about people who seemed different from the rest. They had something that others did not, a magnetic presence, an energy that inspired respect, admiration, and in some cases, even fear. These individuals were seen as natural leaders, wise men, healers, prophets, people who had the ability to see beyond the obvious, to transform the destiny around them, and to touch the lives of others in an almost supernatural way. Many of these stories have been passed down from generation to generation, preserved in legends, scriptures, and accounts of ancient peoples. In all of them, there is a common element, the existence of a sign, an invisible mark that only the most attentive can recognize. But what does it really mean to bear this mark? And why are so few chosen to bear it? History shows several examples of people who, for some reason, seem to be in tune with something greater. Think of the ancient shamans of indigenous tribes, the monks who dedicated their lives to the search for higher knowledge, the prophets who announced powerful messages before events even occurred. These figures have always aroused admiration, but also fear and persecution. After all, those who know too much or who go against the flow of the world are often seen as threats. But there is a clear pattern. These individuals share very specific characteristics. They feel that they belong to something greater. They have a sharp intuition, a perception that goes beyond the normal, as if they could see what others do not see. For many of them, there were signs from childhood, intense and prophetic dreams, an above-average emotional sensitivity, a feeling of disconnection from the materialistic and superficial world around them. What about you? Have you ever felt that you see things that others ignore? That you have perceptions that seem to come from an unknown place? These may be signs that you also carry this invisible mark of the chosen ones. The chosen ones are not ordinary people. They have unique characteristics that set them apart from the vast majority of humanity. From an early age, many of them realize that they see the world in a different way, while others are only concerned with material things. They feel a calling to something greater, a calling that they cannot ignore, because it is imprinted in their soul, as if they had been molded for something great from the beginning. Some have such great inner strength that, even in the face of the worst difficulties, they never give up. They fall, but they always get up, because inside them there is a flame that never goes out. This strength is not only manifested in resilience, but also in the ability to endure pain that would make anyone else crumble. These are people who face betrayal, loss and disappointment, and still remain standing, driven by an unshakable faith that there is a greater purpose behind everything. Others have an inexplicable wisdom, as if they already knew things that no one has ever taught them. They seem to capture hidden messages between the lines of life. They understand patterns that go unnoticed by the common eye. Their advice carries a weight that goes beyond experience, as if guided by a higher intelligence. They are those who, even without apparent effort, offer words that change destinies, that alleviate pain, that bring clarity in the midst of chaos. And there are those who seem to carry such intense energy that they simply attract or repel the people around them. Their gaze conveys something difficult to describe, a presence that can be both comforting and unsettling. Some awaken instant love and admiration, while others generate fear or distrust, as if their vibrations revealed truths that many would prefer to keep hidden. Wherever they are, they make a difference, because their mere existence already challenges the status quo. But this journey is not easy. The chosen ones face immense challenges, trials that test their courage, their faith, and even their sanity. Many of them go through periods of profound loneliness where they feel that no one understands them. They carry secrets and insights within themselves that they cannot share with anyone because they know that few would be able to understand them. This loneliness can become a heavy burden, making them wonder at times whether it is worth continuing. Others face resistance, persecution, and even attempts to make them doubt their own purpose. In a world where mediocrity is often celebrated and greatness is feared, the chosen ones become easy targets. Many try to silence them, discredit them, and ridicule them, hoping that they will give up. But what their opponents do not understand is that a truly chosen one can never be erased. The more challenges they face, the stronger they become. Each pain turns into a learning experience. Each defeat teaches them to rise again with even greater determination. However, there are times when even the strongest weaken. The weight of responsibility can become overwhelming, and doubt can infiltrate their minds like a subtle poison. In these moments, they are tested to their very core, forced to look within and decide whether they will continue to carry the burden of their mission or succumb to weariness. Those who endure, who find the strength to carry on even when all seems lost, are the ones who leave their mark on the world. Because in the end, the greatness of the chosen ones lies not only in what they can do, but in the courage they have to continue when anyone else would give up. Being a chosen one does not mean having an easy life. On the contrary, it means carrying a burden that few could bear. Each step of this journey brings challenges that require strength, courage, and an unshakable sense of purpose. The chosen ones often find themselves faced with complex dilemmas, where each decision can change not only their own destiny, but the destiny of countless people around them. The responsibility they bear is not limited to the present. Their actions resonate into the future, shaping generations and influencing history in ways they cannot always foresee. They face difficult choices, often having to sacrifice their own desires and comforts for the greater good. There are no shortcuts, no respite, only the knowledge that their path is essential to something much greater than themselves. In addition, being a chosen one means dealing with the pressure of external expectations. While some admire and follow them, others fear them and try to discredit them. The weight of responsibility can be overwhelming, and moments of doubt and loneliness are not uncommon. However, it is precisely in these moments that their true strength manifests itself. For a chosen one is not just someone gifted with special skills or knowledge, but someone who persists even when the path becomes almost impossible to follow. They live with the constant feeling that there is something greater guiding them, something that drives them to move forward even when all seems lost. For many, this feeling is a burden, but also a blessing, as it gives them the conviction that they are on the right path, even if the road is arduous and full of challenges. Many face trials that test their faith and resilience, dealing with situations that demand a level of commitment and sacrifice that few could bear. In addition to external difficulties, there are also internal conflicts. Being a chosen one means being in a constant battle with oneself. The fear of failure, the temptation to give up, the uncertainty about what lies ahead, these are all battles that are fought every day within oneself. It takes a strong heart and an unshakable mind to resist doubts and keep moving forward, even without guarantees that the reward will come. In the midst of this journey, many chosen ones discover that they cannot trust just anyone. Some people see them as a threat. Others envy them and try to bring them down. Because of this, they often have to walk alone, isolated, without being able to share their true thoughts and feelings. This solitude, although painful, strengthens their spirit and teaches them to trust more in themselves and in the force that guides them. But there are also moments of great clarity and enlightenment, where everything makes sense, and the certainty of being on the right path becomes unquestionable. It is in these moments that they find the strength to continue, that they understand the purpose of all the difficulties they faced, and realize that each obstacle was a preparation for something even greater. Because being a chosen one is not about glory or recognition. It is about serving a greater purpose, about transforming the world around you and leaving a legacy that transcends time. The chosen ones are among us, but few are able to recognize them. They do not usually stand out in an obvious way. They are not necessarily public figures or individuals with a striking appearance. However, there is something about them that makes them unmistakable to those who know what to look for. This uniqueness is not in what they wear, what they have, or how they speak, but rather in the energy they carry, in the way they see the world, and how they impact those around them. Perhaps you have already crossed paths with someone like this without realizing it. A person whose presence seemed different, whose mere existence seemed to have a profound effect on those around them. Some of these individuals radiate a peace so intense that being around them calms even the most restless souls. Others have an almost hypnotic magnetism, a presence so strong that it is impossible to ignore them. There are also those who seem to carry an invisible weight, as if their mission were greater than anyone could understand, but who, even so, remain steadfast, guided by something they cannot fully explain. These signs, however, are not always evident. Many chosen ones go unnoticed for years, even for a lifetime, because not everyone is prepared to recognize them. Sometimes they themselves are unaware of their true nature, living as if they were just one of the crowd, without realizing the impact they have on those around them. But the truth is that once they awaken to their mission, there is no turning back. The the call becomes impossible to ignore, and they begin to see the world in a completely different way. And maybe it is you who bears this mark. Have you ever felt that you are different from others? That there is something in you that cannot be explained in words, but that has always been present since childhood? Have you ever noticed that the people around you react to you in intense ways, whether positive or negative? Perhaps you have felt an inexplicable connection with certain places, certain moments in history, or even with people you barely know, as if there was something greater guiding your steps. If this resonates within you, you may be closer to the truth than you imagine. There are no coincidences when it comes to this kind of journey. The fact that you have reached this point, that you are hearing these words, could be a sign that your soul is ready to awaken to something much greater. Many people spend their entire lives without ever questioning their purpose, without ever feeling this calling. But if you feel something different within yourself, if these words awaken a deep echo within your being, then it is time to start searching for answers. And this search does not have to be solitary. If you want to continue discovering secrets about the invisible world, about spirituality, and about the signs that few can see, subscribe to the channel right now. Turn on notifications to make sure you don't miss any of the upcoming content, because each new piece of this puzzle can be crucial to your journey. Share this video with someone who may be going through the same awakening, because sometimes all we need is a single message to transform our view of reality. Knowledge has the power to change lives, and perhaps today was the day your journey finally began. And if that is the case, do not ignore this calling. Embrace it, because the universe always finds ways to guide those who are ready to see the truth.